pleased to welcome in Chris Simms, NFL analyst for NBC Sports, joining us here on the Brian Noe Show. Very fancy background for the radio audience, and God bless all you great people. I can't do it justice. We got like pillars behind you. We got different colors. It looks like maybe fans in a stadium. I don't know. It's beautiful, picturesque.
Well, what's happened because of the pandemic and everything that's going on, NBC is being careful in case I get the virus, somebody else on the show gets the virus, to where we can't do Football Night in America. I'll be able to do it here in my home. All this is the background you see on Football Night America set on NBC, on Sunday night, except I got a huge screen behind me that's kind of playing that same background. So, yeah, it is. It's pretty awesome. I'm liking it. I mean, it's cool. It's not as cool as your green bomber jacket, though. That is really cool. You're styling today.
Yeah, it's you can't be as high class, I understand, on Sunday night football in America as me, right? Like the bomber jacket. Maybe if you bust that out from home, that could be a good look for you. I don't know, Chris Simms. You could pull that off.
Oh, I do. Don't you worry. I got 2 bomber jackets in my arsenal, so I do pull it off. Now, I can't pull it off on Sunday Night Football, or they'll fire me. But on this show, on my podcast, I will break it out every now and then.
I love it. Okay, I want to go with the stories from you first, because you have great stories. I look at Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas. Okay, as you well know, he didn't play against the Chargers. He reportedly slugged his teammate, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Now, what I didn't know was that it wasn't just the punch. He reportedly talked back to the coaching staff, including head coach Sean Payton. So kind of a 2-in-1. Do you have any great fisticuff stories from your playing days that you witnessed or took part in? And also, had you witnessed any players going at it with a head coach? And that really stands out, too.
I can't say the head coach thing has really I ever witnessed that. Now, listen, I was in Tampa Bay with Keyshawn and John Gruden and when all that went down, but there wasn't like a blow-up like that. There was certainly 2 guys that were a little annoyed at each other and the miscommunication there or whatever, but it never got to that point. Now, the other one that I think, maybe somewhat similar, I was also in Denver with Brandon Marshall the year that they had told, he punted the ball in practice, if you remember that. Mm-hmm. He also got in a little altercation in the offseason where he cut his arm wrestling around with his little brother in the family room of the house or whatever, all those type of things. That was an interesting experience because Brandon Marshall, who was super talented, a mid-round pick, had never made a lot of money, I think was led to believe, hey, listen, you get on your P's and Q's and act accordingly here. We're going to pay you like you're the best receiver in football. And he did that and then performed like the best receiver in football. And we got to like week 10 and week 12, and there was no contract talk, nothing going on. And it did get very uncomfortable in the building. And Brandon Marshall, I know, was annoyed by it, bothered by it. We were sitting in pregame in the locker room in Philadelphia that same year. And he was yelling. It was just me and him in the bathroom. We're looking at ourselves in the mirror. And he's going, I can't play like this. I can't let it all out on the field and just go 100 miles per hour when I know I'm this close to making all this money. And, I got no insurance right now here. And in one bad knee or something like that, that's all over. So there was definitely some moments that year of him being pissed off in meetings, the punting the ball at practice. I think that's about as close as I ever got to like witnessing something like that.
That's interesting. I'll pick up on one of the last points.
Yeah.
When a guy is really close to getting a big payday, and take Dak, for instance, right? Like Dak or anybody else. Do you notice at times it changed the way a guy approaches the game?
Well, I think it makes them be a little cautious. They're worried about it. I think the perfect example this year is Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, I feel like he got paid his money, and now he's just like, oh, what, I'm banged up? It doesn't matter. 100 miles per hour. Here we go. Mm-hmm. He's got that insurance and the money and the security to lay it all out there for the football team. And, it's hard to do that sometimes. As much as you want to say, yeah, I'm going to lay it all out there, it doesn't matter about the contract, anything like that, it's still the most physically crazy sport in all of the world. And, yeah, you'll be out there playing in a game where if you're like that, I think guys are careful, maybe not going to throw their body around the way they would have if they had the long-term security, or maybe not going to try to get a few extra yards down the sidelines and just step out of bounds because they're like, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to do that because of what you saw with Dak Prescott. Now, Dak Prescott, he gambled on himself. He did that to himself a little bit, and I'm not trying to be insensitive. But, yeah, I think that's a real reality of NFL football, certainly.
He's Chris Simms, NFL analyst for NBC Sports here on the Brian Noe Show. When you hear the Michael Thomas story, and he was suspended for one game, I think immediately to Earl Thomas, who is the 7-time Pro Bowler. He's a fantastic player, but you had not only the Ravens say, get him out of here because he slugged a teammate, he's late to meetings, on and on. You also had the Houston Texans, who are hurting for defensive help, say, we don't want him. Does that surprise you when a lot of players say, we're out on this guy?
So this is like, with Earl Thomas, like you said it, he's going to the Hall of Fame, a legend. I mean, he's amazing. He's definitely one of the best free safeties of our era. There's no doubt about that. But the play had slipped, significantly, in my opinion. And I think, of course, that's why Seattle got rid of him, because they weren't going to pay him top-end dollar. And I think Baltimore, who obviously overpaid for him, I think they realized like halfway through that year that, whoa, we paid this guy like he's one of the best safeties in football, and he's nowhere near that. So I think the one thing, and I had a lot of flack on this on Twitter at the time, because I said, I don't think you're going to see Earl Thomas get picked up anytime soon. He's nowhere near like top half of football in the safety position. And I think that's what you're seeing. Yeah, there's concerns about him, the attitude, all of that. But if he was really a top-end football player, he would have already been signed right now. I mean, Antonio Brown's list of issues was way longer, and teams were still lining up to sign him, right? Because he was one of the best in the game. But once you lose that and you're trouble off the field and everything like that, teams then just go, oh, the hell with it. It ain't worth it. Michael Thomas is one of those guys that they go, no, it's worth it. He's a pain in the butt right now, but he's the best player on our team. He really is probably more important as far as a receiver to an offensive scheme than any other receiver in football. We know Drew Brees can't throw the ball down the field. Michael Thomas makes a living underneath and getting cheap yards, breaking tackles, doing all that. So hopefully they can rein him in. I think that's what this was this week. Kind of shot across his bow to go, dude, you're getting a little crazy. I hope you can, get back to reality here, and we can just all get together and win some football games. We'll see where it goes. I bet Sean Payton played his cards right, and everything will go smoothly from here on out.
I don't want to bury the lead. You're checking your tweets now?
Of course. I always do. It's just whether I want to get involved in it or not. That's the real issue, because at times when I read and I see some of the things that come back to me, because I had so many people telling me, I'm so stupid, you're the dumbest analyst out there, Earl Thomas is still amazing, blah, 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 blah. That's right. Joe the plumber telling me, the guy who's just, all I do is watch football, been around guys like this all life. He's going to tell me what to do and what's going on. So, I like that I've been proven right in this one. Not at the expense of Earl Thomas, but I like it, yes.
Yeah, you got it. Man, when you put yourself out there and Joe the plumber calls you an idiot and you're wrong, oh, that L feels horrible. I hate those L's. Yeah, it's the worst. He's Chris Simms from NBC Sports. I want to get your thoughts on Justin Herbert. 4 games in, what are you seeing from the kid?
Superstar. Take the training wheels off. And I'm not talking about taking them off Justin Herbert. I'm talking about take the training wheels off the coaching staff. Open it up. Let's go. What are we doing? How many awesome throws and awesome plays do we need to see until we're going to stop running the ball on first down or running the ball on second down? They think they're doing him a favor, except they can't run the ball. So then it's 3rd and 12 every time he drops back to pass. And then he completes the pass. Special skill set. I'm sure you've seen it for the last few years up in Oregon. This is why when he came out in the draft, he was my number 2 rated quarterback. But I stated all along that his ceiling was greater than Joe Burrow's. And I think you're seeing why. He can make 30 and 40-yard throws off his back foot, effortless. It doesn't matter. Let alone he's tough. He's a good athlete, like we saw in that first touchdown the other night. Full out, all out blitz. He runs out to the right and throws a 30-yard laser into the end zone. I am very excited about what I've seen from Justin Herbert. I want the Chargers to change the way they're playing. Their offensive line stinks. Their running backs are as average as it gets. They have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, and Justin Herbert. And the defense is hurt. Stop blowing 17-point leads by over-managing the game. Let the kid go, because I think he can do some really, really good things.
I'm totally with you, man. When they had 47 seconds left at the end of regulation and they ran the ball for 3 yards, it's like, what are you doing? That 50-yarder might be a 35-yarder if you throw it instead.
They're over-managing it. And really, they're managing their own fears. That's the problem. He's fine. He's not panicked. I mean, you're watching the games. He's as cool and calm as it gets. I mean, I'd like to see something fluster the guy or do anything. I mean, he's amazing. He's very even keel. It's the coaches that got to break out of this like old world 1978 thinking. Yeah, he can play. He's played ton of snaps. He's obviously very smart. Is he going to be perfect? No. But damn, for a rookie who's thrown into this situation, it's been pretty close to perfect.
We haven't seen Tua Tagovailoa touch the field yet. So it's very early on. But Is it possible that the Dolphins screwed up by passing on Justin Herbert?
Well, I will raise the question that it's, for me in football world, being around it my whole life and everything, I certainly am sitting here at times pondering, wait, so why hasn't he overtaken Fitzpatrick yet? Because, again, if the talent was so great and everything, I think they'd have no choice. The players, everything would just be going like, what are we doing? This other guy we got is special. Let's put him out there. And, again, I don't think the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl this year. They're going to be a pain in the butt, no doubt about that. They're a solid football team. But, yeah, I'm I don't want to say alarmed, but certainly like paying attention to that to go like, okay, we know what Ryan Fitzpatrick is. At what point are we going to start thinking about the future and seeing what this guy got? So I do find it kind of concerning that he hasn't, become part of that should he start this week conversation yet.
He's Chris Simms, NFL analyst for NBC Sports here on the Brian Noe Show. I want to get your thoughts on Lamar Jackson, okay? Ravens QB, reigning MVP, 26th in passing yards this year. How about this stat? He has 10 more passing yards than Washington quarterback Dwayne Haskins, who didn't play last week because he was benched. So what do you think about Lamar in that Ravens passing game?
Well, yeah, it's suspect. I don't think there's any denying that. And it's more than just Lamar. We saw week 1 where we went, wow, that looked pretty damn good. Lamar was throwing the ball all over the field on the Cleveland Browns, and you're going, damn, I think he's kind of taking the next step up here as far as a passer. The second week, Houston, he played solid, but they never had to rely on the passing game. And then the third game was the kryptonite game, right? The Chiefs. And there was some throws in that game where I just went, man, I thought we were past this. Like, really? That kind of throw there? Wait, one-on-one downfield? That ball was, fluttering and 10 feet short? And, yeah, I feel like they've had a hard time kind of finding their way in the pass game. Now, their biggest issue is they just don't have enough receivers that they can depend on. It's Mark Andrews and tight ends and the running backs, and then Hollywood Brown. So I think that also has to be taken into account a little bit. They're not built to just throw the ball all over the field and do everything like that, let alone they're not quite dominating the way they did last year in the run game. It's still really good, but, I mean, last year. Last year was like every week you were just like, whoa, this is unreal. He's running for 100 yards, and 2 other running backs are also running for 100 yards, and they're unstoppable, and that led to some great looks in the pass game. I think this year people have figured out their run game just a little to where they can err on let's not get beat deep by Hollywood and all those, let alone he has not thrown the ball as well the last few weeks. I'm not concerned. I expected a little bit better. I'm not going to lie. but maybe they find the right way to get this passing offense going and getting him in a better rhythm this week with the Eagles, who play a ton of man-to-man and will give him some opportunities.
I got to ask you about Le'Veon Bell. He's a free agent. Reportedly, the list is down to Chiefs, Bills, Dolphins. So what do you think the best home would be for Le'Veon?
Well, I would tell him to go to the Chiefs or the Bills, because and it's no disrespect. I like what the Dolphins are doing down there. I really do. But Le'Veon Bell's at a very critical junction in his career. If he goes to a team like the Dolphins, they don't make the playoffs, he doesn't put up good stats, next year he'll be fighting for his NFL career. He's going to get signed to a very, unimpressive contract. And it's going to be like, all right, is he going to hang in the league for another year or two, or is he going to be out? So he better go to a place where he can be and show some of the good side of what we know to Le'Veon Bell to be. And to me, with Kansas City and Buffalo, he fits perfect there because they want to throw first. Yes, we know that, both of those teams. He's good in the pass game. So he can be a guy like, hey, we spread the field out. We got you next to Josh Allen or Mahomes. We're going to give you the ball because the numbers in the box are the right way. Make some magic happen. That can make him look good. Then teams start to worry about that. Oh, well, let's split him out. Put him at slot receiver. Make him part of the pass game. I think both of those offenses know how to use a guy like Le'Veon Bell, unlike the New York Jets. So I think either one is an awesome spot. I really do. I'm not even going to choose which one. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I guess you'd give the advantage to the Chiefs because they're the Super Bowl winners. And it's Patrick Mahomes and everything like that. But, man, Buffalo, Josh Allen, the top 5 quarterback in football, they got a lot of stuff there to worry about and defend, too, to where I think either one of those, he's going to be in the position to succeed.
By the way, before you go, this headline made me laugh. So no Pro Bowl this year. That's not the funny part. But in 2021, it's going to be reimagined. How are they going to reimagine the Pro Bowl, Chris Simms?
I don't know, but they need to do something because I could care less if there's no Pro Bowl this year. It's the worst sporting event on TV. I mean, yeah, let's wear some pads and not tackle each other and play two-hand touch football. That's really what the Pro Bowl has become. I don't know if they make it more just skilled events, maybe something like that. I honestly would rather see hey, it's the Pro Bowl. We're going to watch Odell versus Tyreek in the 100-yard dash and see who's the fastest guy in football. Hey, it's the Pro Bowl. We're going to have Mahomes versus Josh Allen. Who throws it farther? Awesome. Okay. Hey, it's the Pro Bowl. We're going to have Dalvin Cook versus Christian McCaffrey have to run through an obstacle course. That's the crap I want to see. Screw the football game. It's over. The players don't care. It's too risky. It can ruin their career. Find something else to do.
I hear you, man. Maybe it's the reimagined part is duplicating what's happening in 2020. There's no more Pro Bowl. There you go. Boom. Right, reimagined. Right. Yeah. All right, Chris. Hope you have a good weekend, man. Always appreciate your time, bud. Good to catch up with you. And I love how the top button is buttons, man. It's the trademark right there.
That's what I do. All right. I mean,
now real fast. You go for the trilogy, as I call it. You've got the top button, and then you have the collar buttons right there.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good little change-up look for the top buttoned every now and then, just to add a little, collar buttons on the side. It's a subtle change-up for Chris Simms here on Unbuttoned in my podcast and all that.
I love it. So when am I going to be on it again? Is it 2027 now?
2021, I think, in that same Pro Bowl week, 2022. Okay.
We'll do a big preview for the reimagined Pro Bowl. That's right.
Yes.
All right, man. Well, you have a good day. We'll catch you later, bud.
All right, buddy. You too. Have a good weekend.